Hello and welcome to another morning update live on NTN. Today is Tuesday, the 29th of June, 2021, and we're ending the month of St. Lucia, at least, on a good note. We've seen the resumption of cruise tourism here on island. Just today we have the Celebrity Millennium birthing in our port, and there is quite a bit of a celebratory tone happening at the port. We do hope everyone and everything is happening seamlessly down there. In the meantime, here in the GIS office, good morning to you. We hope you are keeping safe, adhering to the protocols. My name is Jessie Leonce, and for the next half hour or so, I will be bringing you the latest updates surrounding the latest updates coming out of the government of St. Lucia, primarily coming out of the COVID-19 management. St. Lucia is poised to reap significant economic benefits throughout the phases of the Cabot St. Lucia project. We're going to get into the details of that. Also, yesterday we had an update from the Ministry of Tourism on the resumption of cruise activity, the cruise sector. So we had Anne Margaret Adams, who is the Director of Product Development within the ministry, and she did speak to the varied experiences that will be offered to the cruise passengers based on their vaccination, their COVID-19 vaccination status. So stay tuned for that. And also we have the kids this morning going forward into the common entrance examination room. We have the grade 6 students sitting their examination today, common entrance today, and our thoughts, our prayers, our good energy, our good vibes going out to the kids who, despite the pandemic, have worked up everything that they need to do to be able to sit this exam, and we do wish them all the best. I think by the 19th of July we should be getting the results, but we are sending all our good energy to the kids in hopes that they do well. To the CXC students as well, because we have that starting off this week also. So stay tuned for these stories and more coming up. We also have the latest figures coming out of the Ministry of Health and Wellness in terms of the new cases of COVID-19. There are 6, and we also have the recovery of 10 individuals as well. Overall, a reduction in the transmission rate here in St. Lucia, which has allowed the island to move past the strict COVID-19 regulations to enjoy something more relaxed, and we see that reflected even in the curfew, with the curfew being reduced to a 9 p.m., an 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. situation from the 9 p.m. And we do hope that no one is abusing, no one is on the wrong side of the law when it comes to the COVID-19 protocols, because everything is being taken into consideration to provide as many liberties and freedoms to St. Lucians, residents of St. Lucia, as possible within the context of COVID, health and safety, where COVID-19 is concerned. So stay tuned. We have these stories and more coming up directly on the other end of this break.
Oi, boss. No, sorry. Excuse me, boss. Can I please be excused to go pay my driver's license?
Okay, I have to do mine as well. I'll do it later.
Okay, I'll see you on the line.
This is Edgar. He's going on the line. This is Caleb. Caleb does not go on the line. He takes care of his transactions online. Caleb uses the DigiGov platform. With DigiGov, he can access and pay for government services using a computer, tablet, or mobile device. DigiGov allows you to apply for and renew your driver's and vehicle permits, submit registrations, and pay fees at various other government agencies. Simply get online and sign up for a DigiGov account today.
Sorry it took so long, boss. Traffic was hectic, line was long. You'll not make it today?
Make it? I'm done. Come.
Don't be like Edgar. Be like Caleb. Take back your time, get off the line, and get online with DigiGov, serving people and businesses with that island love.
And we are back. This is the morning update live on NTN. We're coming to you from the GIS studios this morning, and we thank you for tuning in. If you're online, on air, watching from St. Lucia, St. Lucians in the diaspora, good morning to you. Thank you for making this your morning station, your wake-up station. The construction and ultimate completion of Cabot St. Lucia will produce several economic benefits for St. Lucia. The project will not only add a new component to the country's tourism industry offering, but will also provide employment opportunities for many St. Lucians. We get the details in this report.
Founder and executive chairman of Cabot St. Lucia explained that he first visited St. Lucia some 5.5 years ago with a view of assessing the possibility of expanding the Cabot brand to the island. Ben Kawindua, who is the founder and executive chairman of Cabot St. Lucia, stated that this initial visit had convinced him that St. Lucia was ideal to build the best golf course in the Caribbean. The chief executive officer explained that if successful, the project could reap huge rewards for St. Lucia, including bringing in a new type of tourist and contributing to the economy. Christine Thompson is the chief executive officer of Cabot St. Lucia.
You know, this will bring to St. Lucia a new sector of tourism that currently doesn't exist today. In fact, it doesn't exist really anywhere in the region, which are really tourists that travel just to play golf. So most would come to a resort, enjoy the sand, the sea, the food, the culture, etc. And there might be a golf course that was part of an amenity of the resort, and they might play, you know, golf one day, for example. But these are people that actually seek out the best golf courses all around the world and travel just for the golf. And I think what's great about this project is that those people right now are not coming to this part of the region, not coming to St. Lucia. And so it's a whole new sector of tourists. They are also affluent, and they also will spend a lot more time here. So when we look at, you know, the economic contribution to the economy that these people will bring, it will be much greater than, say, others that might come on a cruise ship or stay at an all-inclusive resort, for example.
The chief executive officer explained that Cabot is very committed to employing St. Lucians. She added that upon completion, some 500 individuals are expected to be employed when in full operation.
We're very committed to the employment of locals first, then regional, then expat. So we would only sort of bring in foreign workers where there is really a skill gap in one area, and there are a couple of those, yes. But you know, if you look around our site now, you'll see Lucians everywhere. Our CFO is a St. Lucian, our accountant, our QS, our many members of the construction team, and that it's really satisfying for me to be able to sort of build that team that brings opportunity to this region at a time where we really need it more than anything else. We also have a plan that even where we bring in foreigners, that those people don't stay, you know, very long. We bring them, we train them, and that we can get people working for them to actually grow into those roles.
Founder and executive chairman of Cabot St. Lucia, Ben Kawindua, indicated that the number of individuals employed during the construction phase will vary.
The nature of the construction, which is multi-phases and sort of different than a single hotel, which obviously has a construction and then a stabilization. We have a multi-phase, you know, sort of construction schedule that'll last a decade. So I think the construction jobs will continue to be ongoing, and the 500 is really the stabilized operation.
Officials of Cabot St. Lucia have been working assiduously to alleviate several concerns that have been brought to the fore. These include the findings of a recently conducted archaeological investigation and local access to the Queen's Chain. As it relates to the archaeological investigation, Thompson explained that Cabot St. Lucia has been working with relevant stakeholders, including the St. Lucia National Trust and the St. Lucia Archaeological and Historical Society. The chief executive officer disclosed that the investigation revealed that there is nothing left of archaeological significance at the site. She also assured that St. Lucians will have access to the Queen's Chain.
On Casamar Beach, for example, which is a large part of the Queen's Chain, there's absolutely no restriction. You know, you come down to the beach, you walk past the Cabot properties all the way to the end like you're accustomed to it. There are other parts of the Queen Chain around, for example, Donkey Beach and Secret Beach, where it's sort of part of the development. But what we've committed to is that any St. Lucian who wants to access those beaches can come to our reception, can park, and we would escort them down in a golf cart to the beach until they were finished and they wanted to go back, and then we take them home.
The project, which is expected to be completed in 2022, will be Cabot's third golf course and second resort in its expanding portfolio of world-class properties. From the Government Information Service, I am Janelle Norvell.
Thank you, Janelle, for that report. We move along to other developments in the tourism effort. We have the resumption of cruise tourism in St. Lucia today, and that is after the slump of the pandemic. We had the abrupt end of cruise tourism and other subsectors within the tourism industry. In fact, tourism came to a screeching halt because of COVID-19. And due to many advancements in the COVID-19 response, today St. Lucia is able to move up the ladder, another step in coming back to what we enjoyed prior to COVID-19. Yesterday, we had the Director of Product Development in the Ministry of Tourism sit in studio for a quick update to let us know what we can expect with the resumption of cruise tourism here on island. Of course, today the inaugural call of the Celebrity Millennium happening, and this is, of course, since the pandemic, but she did speak to the extent of the liberties that cruise passengers will be able to enjoy here in St. Lucia. And she did indicate that there would be a distinction between fully vaccinated passengers and also non-fully vaccinated passengers. I just want to go to a clip of Mrs. Anne Margaret Adams speaking on this distinction just yesterday ahead of the birthing of the Celebrity Millennium today.
So the fully vaccinated passengers are those who actually have completed the regimen, the COVID-19 vaccination regimen, which is approved by the Ministry of Health. So they would have had to arrive in St. Lucia at least 2 weeks. It would have been at least 2 weeks prior to their arrival in St. Lucia. So these are your fully vaccinated visitors. And these persons will be allowed to free roam, as we say. Just like your land-based visitors, they can enjoy the services, they can participate in your tours, they can go to the supermarket, they can go to the beaches as well. And these persons will be identified by a wristband. And what we have allowed them to utilize a white wristband, which will differentiate them from your non-fully vaccinated visitors.
Now, non-fully vaccinated passengers are defined. It's defined as a visitor who has either taken 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine or no dose at all. And these passengers will be allowed to enjoy excursions in a controlled and supervised manner, and they will not be allowed to roam in public spaces. So if a cruise passenger is not fully vaccinated, they've never taken a vaccine before, you will not see them in the city center walking about, strolling around, taking pictures of our sites and so on. You will not see that. However, as Mrs. Adams indicated, fully vaccinated cruise passengers will have this benefit where they can walk around, they can be unsupervised because they are fully vaccinated. They have come prior to the birthing of the cruise ship, and they can go around, enjoy the sights, scenes and attractions of St. Lucia much better, I should say, than a non-fully vaccinated individual. So just to note also, just to go to a clip from Ms. Adams again speaking on this before we go on to some of the amenities that will now be available to fully vaccinated passengers. Take a look.
Non-fully vaccinated, they are not allowed to be taking pictures and roam in the city. They will be operating within a bubble of predetermined experiences. They would have to book through your cruise agents or through the cruise desk.
And so, as I indicated, what the assurance there we have from the Director of Product Development is that the non-fully vaccinated passengers would be operating in a bubble. They will have supervised excursions and so on. Now, she assures that despite this and other controls in the subsector, as the cruise tourism is gradually reintroduced, locals will be able to immediately benefit, and that is based on the fully vaccinated passengers largely. She says fully vaccinated passengers will be allowed to patronize shops in the city center, as was the norm pre-COVID, and that the vendors arcade will be open to receive passengers. I believe there was a presentation happening just yesterday at the vendors arcade by the Ministry of Tourism, handing out personal protective equipment and so on, just to be on the safe side, because St. Lucia is still very much vulnerable. Just to be on the safe side, as they were setting up, preparing for today, the big day, inaugural return of the cruise ships to St. Lucia, there was this handing over, and of course, so they will be able to immediately benefit from today's cruise call as well as following cruise calls happening for the season.
So your locals will be able to participate. I can say that the ministry has been working assiduously in preparing them for providing services. Your tours, your transportation sector, your transportation providers, your sites and attractions, your vendors. And in fact, as of yesterday, we had a meeting with our vendors to prepare them in terms of what are the expectations, what are the guidelines surrounding, cruise passengers when they do come in. So the locals will be able to participate. I must say that they'll be able to benefit from the services that they will be able to provide to your fully vaccinated as well as those who are non-vaccinated but within a bubble.
So the inaugural return of cruise tourism today, June 29th in St. Lucia since the onset of the pandemic, with the Celebrity Millennium vessel jumpstarts the season that will see most of 30 scheduled calls between August and October of this year. So we do hope that persons are excited. I mean, this is something that, persons were clamoring for, particularly individuals who are attached to this sector, who rely on this sector. We're talking about vendors, persons working at the ports, Cox and Company, these organizations who are very much dependent, and they were among the first in line for the COVID-19 vaccine, understanding that it is important to, and it is the crux of us being able to now reopen to this extent. We are going to take a break. When we come back, the students, grade 6 students sit their common entrance this morning. We know the CXC students are also sitting, but today is the big day for our kids who are hoping to get into secondary school come this September. Stay with us.
We can win this war. Get vaccinated. We're taking our life back. Get vaccinated. We know what to do. Get vaccinated. COVID-19 we won't lose to you. Oh no. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. Time for a brand new day. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. To live and work and play. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. The health experts we trust. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. Vaccinate for you, for yours, for us.
Let's take our life back with a safe and effective AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The mobile vaccination drive is coming to you. Visit the Ministry of Health and Wellness and Bureau of Health Education Facebook pages for more information. Let's take our life back. Vaccinate for you, for yours, for us.
Get vaccinated.
This message is brought to you by the Bureau of Health Education of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and this station.
Yesterday, Monday, the 28th of June 2021, the Ministry of Health and Wellness received confirmation of 6 new cases of COVID-19 from the Ezra Long Laboratory. And this is from a batch of 95 samples taken during the period June 25th to the 27th. These samples were processed on the 27th of this month. These newly diagnosed individuals were seen at the various community respiratory clinics where they were assessed and tested for COVID-19. Nothing out of the ordinary. They have so far, arrangements are being made for them to be placed into isolation for care, and contact tracing for these individuals is also underway. Confirmation was also received of the recovery of 10 individuals who were being treated at the respiratory hospital, and it brings the total number of active cases in country today to 84. At present, 2 of the active cases are requiring critical care at the respiratory hospital. The new cases bring the total number of cases diagnosed in country to date to 5,284. In terms of vaccinations now, we have June 26th, that was as of Sunday, I believe. We have Saturday, we have a total of 30,653 individuals receiving their first dose of the vaccine and 21,740 individuals receiving their second dose. As you know, we have the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine being administered currently in St. Lucia. Today, Tuesday, 28th June, the vaccination drive will take place at the Philip Marsley grounds. I believe it's already started, and the Darren Sammy cricket ground. So if you want to get vaccinated, you're hearing about the resumption of cruise tourism and all of its related benefits, and you want to get vaccinated to ensure that you can participate fully and earn an income fully from this sector, then you can get vaccinated at the Philip Marsley grounds or the Darren Sammy cricket grounds. And this activity will cater to the general population. By that we mean if you're 18 years and older, you can get vaccinated. Individuals also So you can get vaccinated if you're 18 years and old, and also for your second dose if you are due for your second dose. You can go on to the website hmi.govt.lc to pre-register, and and also if you need to go get your second dose, ensure that you carry your vaccination card with you. The Ministry of Health is encouraging everyone to go get vaccinated, to protect yourselves, your family, and your friends and others around you. The overall goal, as indicated by the Prime Minister, is to attain herd immunity by October 2021. And while we have the COVID-19 protocols, we have our government leaders feverishly out there trying to procure vaccines for us, additional vaccines for this goal. We also have the COVID-19 management efforts going on to try to keep the transmission rates down, and the slow reopening of our sector, slow but steady reopening of our sector. This is all based on really our degree of immunity to COVID-19 and how we manage the transmission rate, So please take note of that. Today, Tuesday, 29th June 2021, 2,167 grade 6 students across the island are expected to sit the common entrance examinations. We have the Chief Education Officer in the Department of Education, Dr. Fiona Philip Meyer, expressing elation that despite the many challenges that have been posed by COVID-19, students are finally able to sit this exam. She shared words of encouragement. Take a look.
You've come this far. It has been challenging for you, but I also saw the joy when I went into the various schools and saw how our grade 6s, I would think for the most part, loved being back at school. So we want you to take that energy into your common entrance. We want to encourage our parents to be kind to our students, to not put undue pressure on them, to really enjoy the moment with them, to applaud their efforts, to appreciate their skills, but to wish them well. As they move into the final days, it is just time to relax with family, and we do hope that whatever results come out, we can be pleased with them. We are part of the Universal Secondary School Education Program, and so every one of our children gets an opportunity, but we want to make sure that whichever secondary school they go to, they are pleased with their own efforts. And so we wish them well, we wish our parents well.
The Chief Education Officer also indicated that the move from the move to the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment CPEA, which will assess students on a continuous basis, is now ongoing. Plans for that is ongoing.
We note that we're moving into CPEA in the next 2 academic years. There is a progression. A lot of training has happened for our teachers. We continue to work with our parents in terms of information. And the CPEA is the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment run through the Office of CXC with us. And it is another opportunity for us to look at other skills and not only the traditional sit-down common entrance, but assessments as we go along throughout the period of time that will also contribute to the students' end grades. I'm sure that many parents can look online to find out more information about the CPEA, and similarly, we are providing parent meetings to give our parents more information in a more intimate and small group setting.
There you have it. St. Lucia advancing to CPEA, that is the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessments, and this will move us away from the common entrance examination for the grade 6ers. Again, all the best to our kids. We know they've already started their exams. We wish them the best. We send them good energy, and we are fingers crossed really for a work well done and a wonderful outcome in terms of the results come the 19th of July. That is tentative. Stay with us. So we are due for another break. When we come back, our final segment.
Tired of waiting for hours and days. Tired of standing in lines and lanes. DG Gov is the solution. Over 150 services online. Renew your license and waste no time. Contact the call center 311, that's right. and be updated on the status of your task. DigiGov saves you time. DigiGov, get online. DigiGov for
I am DigiGov.
I am DigiGov.
Hi there, I am DigiGov.
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 DigiGov for the people. DigiGov free your mind. For DigiGov.
DigiGov, serving people and businesses with that island love.
And speaking of DigiGov, the government of St. Lucia continues to make strides towards achieving public sector modernization. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought to the fore the significance of digital technology in the workplace, which can improve efficiency and productivity. The government is working assiduously towards this via the online platform DigiGov. We get details in this report from our very own Herma Demac.
Digital modernization is a key agent of change in the operations of the public service post-pandemic, a conversation that is amplified on the heels of Public Service Day 2021. The COVID-19 pandemic has emphasized the necessity of digital technology in the workplace and has highlighted when used efficiently, technology can vastly improve productivity. The government of St. Lucia continues to work prudently towards achieving public sector modernization. Significant strides have been made via the online platform DigiGov. Marlon Nassus is the Director of Public Sector Modernization.
Digital technologies will fundamentally and continuously change how we operate, how we do business, and that is, government has not been spared that either. And as a result, we see ourselves focusing heavily on digital transformation and how over time this digital transformation can assist us in providing better services to the public. So we do have that transformative type of activity within the government, and we're hoping that this project, this process can then be the catalyst for how how technology would impact our society and our people as a whole.
The DigiGov platform facilitated over 10,000 online driver's license applications after only 1 year of operation. Another public service agency which will soon benefit from government's modernization efforts is the Civil Status Registry. The entity will experience complete automation of its vital records management system and digitalization of its operations through DigiGov. Valinda Pierre is Registrar of Civil Status.
Modernization will serve to increase the accessibility of services. It will increase that exponentially with emphasis at the convenience to the customer. That's what we are really focusing on. For that reason, we would like to encourage customers to utilize the online platform once it's introduced, so that they can access it via their electronic device any and everywhere. We anticipate a decrease in the long lines and waits at the Civil Status Registry, and we are also expecting an increase in the online expedited services via the DigiGov platform. Customers will also be able to monitor and track the status of the application using the DigiGov platform, and there will be a two-way communication, whereas the Civil Status Registry would be the one that was informed of processes as it happens, but now the customers would be able to have an input in what is happening, because they would be able to receive status updates as it happened on the status of the application.
This shift in operations will lead to the effective decentralization of the agency's services.
So persons within the various communities are expected, they will be able to access the civil registration system from various communities, and the customers will have the option not only to apply online, but also to pay online. For customers who do not wish that option, they also can go into the various locations, for example, Viewfort, Soufrière, to name a few, and access the civil registration system using Service Bureau agents, and to be able to pay online. So we are excited about that opportunity, given that it's aimed at improving convenience, facilitating convenience to our customers. It will save time, it will save costs. Persons will no longer require face-to-face contact with the registry if they utilize that platform. So we are really excited about such an opportunity.
A fundamental consideration during this undertaking is the legal reform to protect customers' information. Amendments have been made to the Electronic Transactions Act, and efforts are underway to improve the enforcement of the Data Protection Act. From the Government Information Service, I'm Humadi Mark reporting.
Thank you, Hurma, for that report. And that brings us to the end of our morning program. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. We invite you to stay tuned. We do have a panel discussion coming on at 10 a.m. Tune in to find out more about that. And in the meantime, keep safe. Continue to adhere to the protocols if you're heading out today in public spaces. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jessie Leon, signing off for now. Cheers.